Hey, today we're handling 5 tough fantasy draft day choices. We regularly win our drafts by preparing for these types of difficult decisions, and we're going to break down 5 tight end and QB matchups right now.
Let's hit it. Hey everyone, I am Justin, and that is Kyle, and we are the Fantasy Football Upside. Hey, we want to thank you. Thanks for dropping by our little Fantasy Football podcast. Thanks for taking the time to check us out. And today, we're continuing our Fantasy Football Draft or Pass series. This is something that Kyle and I have really liked to do this week, and hopefully we can continue to do it at some point in the future. So what we're doing here is we're pitting players with similar draft prices against one another to find out who we like in the draft. So yesterday we finished up with wide receivers. Today we're going to handle a few QBs and tight ends. We're not going to do a whole tight end one or a whole QB one. It's just not as many decisions you're going to have to make just based off your roster. So
You
Kyle,
better not be. You better not
right?
be making a ton of
If you've
decisions.
been listening to us,
Pick one. Pick
Of each.
one of
Yes.
each. Yes. Like Justin said, we're yesterday we finished up with wide receivers. That'll be up in the corner there as part of the playlist for the series. Make sure you check that out. The links are also down in the description for all of the episodes. We're finishing up the draft or pass series today. And we're going to handle, it's going to be 2 questions with tight ends and 3 questions with QBs. So 10 players total, and that'll finish it up for the draft or pass series. But anyway, let's go ahead and get going on this. Like we've done in all the previous episodes, we're going to throw 90 seconds on the clock for each of us to make our choice because 2 guys are available to us in the spot that we're drafting. And we get to pick one, and the other guy's going to be gone before it comes back around. So we got to choose between the 2. All right.
Yep.
Let's dive head first in the shallow end here, Justin, and let's hit up number 1. Your favorite question, I know, right here off the top, because we're going to see what's going to happen. What's going to happen, right? Last year you didn't have to make this choice. I just want to point. But anyway,
I still don't know what's going to happen right here. Whenever we start talking, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, usually that's the case, but more often it's me. All right, Travis Kelce versus George Giggity Kittle.
Giggity.
Yeah. George Giggity Kittle, right? All right, Justin's love his amour. George Kittle, is he going to go with him? I don't know. Let's see. 90 seconds on the clock and go.
Well, let me just start off with Travis Kelce because, otherwise I'll talk all 90 seconds of George Kittle. So I got to get in a little Travis Kelce here. I mean, I like Travis Kelce just like every other player does in fantasy football, of course, because he's usually the number 1 tight end. I think he's finished number 1 in the last 5 years in a row. And that's pretty darn good.
It's okay.
That's okay.
He's doing all right.
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Last year he had a really big touchdown decrease. He had 10 in 2018 and then he had 5 in 2019. He still got the red zone targets. He had 22 of them, but he only came down with 5. So he little unlucky in that department. I bet you that's going to turn around moving forward.
I would suspect, and I'm going to cut in a little bit here on your time. I would suspect that that's related to the lack of a solid enough running game, that defenses weren't respecting the running game in the red zone, and so they were able to focus on Travis Kelce a little bit more in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when it comes to George Kittle, of course, he is still the number 1 receiving option with the 49ers, in my opinion, and that because, Debo's hurt. He should be ready for the first week, but you just never know with a foot injury. And,
ask Devontae Adams about that, right?
Right, I haven't. Shocker.
You haven't? We should text him.
It's just one of those things where I'm not really too scared about any other weapons taking, targets away from George Kittle. It's just the fact that he does, he blocks a lot. He's so good at it that he blocks a lot.
But it also leaves him on the field a lot.
It does. So with that, even though I love George Kittle, I have to go Travis Kelce.
Oh, wow.
I
know. Almost pre-marked this one for you.
I know. We went a little long just because of what happened. But
that's okay.
It's just one of those things where I have to – sometimes you have to put aside who your homers are or who you really, truly, have an affection for or something like that. It's just you have to go with the smart decision.
Yeah.
You can't pick favorites. Don't be that
Yeah.
guy that picks all your players. I'm a Colts guy. I'm not going to pick all Phillip Rivers, T.Y. Hilton, Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right, Kyle. So 90 seconds on the clock, and let's see if you pick my guy. Go.
Yeah, here I'm actually pulling up a stat here. I like both of these guys. I know that one of them has the best schedule in the league based on last year's numbers, and the other one has the worst schedule in the league based on last year's numbers. The fantasy football, points allowed by the defenses that they're going to face based on last year, right? And the variance is not that great between tight end, like the points allowed per game. So the difference is not so dramatic as you might see with running back. And I didn't start my clock. You might give me an update here. I'm sorry, what was that? You're freezing up on me. All right. So look, Kittle has the better schedule. He's got the best tight end schedule in the league, and Kelce has the worst tight end schedule in the league. And there's a lot of mouths to feed in Kansas City. I don't know where the offense is really going to be focused in the end. I do know that San Francisco is going to be focused on Kittle primarily and the run game. And so that's kind of where I'm leaning is that direction. I think that Kelce is the guy to go with. Kittle's the guy to go with here because the schedule is just a little bit better, and I think that in the end he gets it done for you. So if you're gonna take a guy that early, you want the guy who you can say empirically he's going to do better. So that's where I'm at. Kittle.
I like it.
I did it. I took your guy. Yeah.
I know, and I feel so terrible about myself right now.
Oh yeah, you should.
Let us know. Throw a comment down and let us know what you think about that one. Kelce versus Kittle.
Yeah.
That's
let us know how wrong both of us are.
Yeah, I don't know how you can do that. How both of us can be wrong. We both.
Well, we're both always wrong, aren't we? I mean, yeah.
Are wives watching this?
I don't know. Mine might be. Maybe she's the one commenting. Yeah.
All right. Let's move forward.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Right. Well, yeah. Let me write down. Call 911. Everything's fine. It's wonderful. It's been great.
It's been great. All right.
We're all doing okay here in quarantine.
We have Evan Engram versus Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Number 2. All right. 90 seconds on the clock and Gizzo.
Oh yeah.
Right. All right. So I kind of knew where I was going to go with this one, and I think I'm still there on it. These guys are going on average between tight end 5 and tight end 7, and 7 is where they both hit 7 an awful lot, and it's
7 miles an hour.
Yeah, 7 miles an hour. But they both seem to share tight end 7 depending on what site you're on. Right. I think that here for me, what I'm looking at mostly is going with the guy who I think has the most upside chance here. And that for me is Evan Engram, actually. I think that he has shown flashes, and I think that last year they were going through the growing pains of having a new QB and an offense that just couldn't seem to figure its way out. If there's one guy on that passing game that I think is really solid, it's Evan Engram. It's somebody I can predict getting a certain amount of volume. And in tight end, I mean, really, that's what it boils down to. Look, you're just trying to get by with the tight end. You're not trying to win your league with a tight end.
Right.
If you're doing that, you're drafting a tight end way too early. So stop it. Stop that.
Don't be that guy.
Tight ends and then
Yeah, or 2 top tight ends because you kept one and drafted the other one in the 3rd or 2nd round, whatever it was. Not going to point any fingers. I don't have to. But anyway, that's where I'm going. Is I like Engram. I like the upside. I think that the Rams are a tough sell there with Henry. Or he's not the Rams, is he? Yeah,
Chargers.
I think that's
close enough.
Tough one. Yeah. Close enough. Somewhere near there, right? All right. So anyway, we'll throw the question to you, Justin. Engram versus Henry. Who do you got? 90 seconds on the clock. Give it.
All right. So both of these guys come with a lot of injury risk, a lot of injury history. And it's just one of those things where both of them can't stay healthy. So it's kind of pick your poison, pick the higher upside, kind of like what you were just talking about. And you also mentioned
I like how you call it poison. That's speaking so highly of these two individuals who are going in the middle of the tight ends.
I meant in the good way. Yeah, I mean, these are two guys
Poison
that I'm
in a
probably
good
going
way.
to stay away from anyways, even if they fall to me. So, but if you were making this decision and you had to choose between the two, this is why we're talking about it. But, there's not a whole lot of, there's 3 wide receivers with the Giants, Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate, Darius Slayton. None of those are true number 1 guys. And whenever Evan Engram was on the field, he was averaging 8.5 targets, which led the team. He also was tied 6th in red zone targets with 14 last year, and he only played 8 games. So that just means Danny Jones looked for him down in the end zone because he doesn't want to throw it to any other guy that's less than 6 foot tall. That's who I just mentioned. And when it comes to Hunter Henry, who's throwing in the ball?
Yeah.
Is it Justin Herbert or is it Tyrod Taylor? You just don't know. So I got to go with, I know Daniel Jones isn't really a quarterback that I would be targeting or anything like that, but I think he's a better QB than Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert, and he looks for him, and we know that. We just don't know what we're getting. So, Evan Engram.
I think that's a better offense all around right now, just because you know what to expect or what to anticipate there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to for me. I'm not reaching for either of those guys either. I think that there's much better value past them. Just ignore the consensus, guys. These two are at best, they're gonna finish on the back end of tight end 1 at best. So ignore that and move past those guys.
People still just salivate over that upside, and I get it. Kyle.
Yeah, but
it's just can you count on them?
Well, I don't think that the team situations are great for them right now. No. All right, let's move on here. Number 3, we've got our first QB matchup of the series right here. This is a pretty good one, pretty decent, I think. And I think we're both going to end up in the same spot. Maybe. I don't know. We've got Dak Prescott versus Kyler Murray. All right, 90 seconds on the clock and go.
Well, we've talked a lot about Arizona Cardinals on this on our podcast here recently. We talked about Christian Kirk quite a bit, and we've mentioned a lot about DeAndre Hopkins, of course, because how couldn't we? Yeah, who? It's the guy that Bill O'Brien woke up one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to trade DeAndre Hopkins." That sounds like a great idea.
Future. Wait. You know what?
David Johnson.
Well, his nickname it should be future Hall of Famer DeAndre Hopkins. That's what we should just start calling him.
He's definitely on his way. So when it comes to Kyler Murray, second year. I feel like he's going to improve. They're going to throw a lot. He's going to scramble a lot. That's just hard for me not to say anything else about it. I mean, yes, he had some growing pains as a rookie QB, but all of them do, and you usually see that second-year jump in QBs. When it comes to Dak Prescott, you also know what you're getting. You're getting a high floor because of his rushing ability as well. And let's talk about weapons. He's got 3 dynamic wide receivers right now. He's got Amari Cooper. He's got Michael Gallup. They just drafted CeeDee Lamb. They stole CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion. And then you got Blake Jarwin coming up. And Jason Witten's no longer there.
I have no idea where you're going.
You know what I mean?
No idea where you're going right now.
I don't either. And
you got 15 seconds on the clock. You got to make that pick, man.
I have to choose Kyler Murray because I don't know what Mike McCarthy's going to do. You just don't know. And you have got me to shy away from all freaking Dallas Cowboys because you're Mike
play
McCarthy.
Great during the draft for me. All right. Okay.
You're not going to choose any of them either.
I disagree with that. I had Amari Cooper last year.
I know.
And I was perfectly
Michael
happy
Gallup
with that.
is I think we're both going to fight over Michael Gallup this year.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, depends on where you pick relative to where I pick in the draft.
Once again, I had no idea where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
This is a tough one. This is why we have this decision right here, and that's why we have 90 seconds on the clock.
Today's not.
Go.
All right, so I'm gonna go the other direction here. Actually, I prefer Dak. And I know that pretty quickly, actually. And there's a number of reasons. I really like Kyler Murray. I think that he's going to be great. Yeah, deck. I really like Kyler Murray. I do. Yeah. I think he's going to be really, really good. He's going into his second year. He had a pretty solid first year. A lot of people gave him a lot of grief about it, but I think that he did a pretty solid job, given that he was learning an entirely new system with Cliff Kingsbury. Now he's got better weapons. He's got more weapons. He's got a better running back for the whole year than he had last year. David Johnson wasn't the right guy for that team. All that sort of stuff, right?
Right.
And you have Dak Prescott, who's got a new coach, new scheme, new everything. So the question is, okay, is he going to have a step back now? But he's got all the targets. He's got the same guys who already had the chemistry with. He's not going to be checking down to the running back. The only time he's going to be thrown to the running back is when it is a check down. It's not going to be a designed play, pass, screen pass, all that sort of stuff. It's just not going to the running back. So that's a little bit of a concern, in that you see maybe he's going to lose a little bit of his passing yardage as a result, because Zeke is a really dynamic back in space. But I feel more confident knowing that Mike McCarthy is going to ask him to throw a ton, and he's already got the relationships established with two guys who are both going to be solid, I think, this year. And so that's where I'm going, is with Dak Prescott. All right.
Hammer that smash.
Yeah, hammer the smash. Hammer the thumbs up, guys. Give us that like. If you're getting value out of this, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. I think we don't say it often enough lately.
Yeah.
So
hit the bell.
Hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. And we'll move on here. All right, Justin, what you got for me?
All right, number 4, we have Russell Wilson, which is Russell Wilson. Indiana talk, and Deshaun Watson. All right, Kyle. 90 seconds on the clock. Go.
All right. Gosh, this is a tough one. I haven't even considered this, but I think that what I do like between these two guys is the consistency with Russell. With Wilson. That is not going to be a high flying, pass heavy offense. They're run first, whereas Houston is, I think, more likely to be pass first offense, and they went and acquired Brandon Cooks, and they're going to try to throw the ball deep still. They've got Kiki Cutie, they've got Will Fuller, they've got Brandon Cooks, they've got Randall Cobb's there now, right? They've got a bunch of guys who can get down the field pretty fast and can catch the ball. But I know what I'm getting out of Russell Wilson. He did drop off a little bit last year, but he was having a heck of a season until Will Dissly got hurt, actually. I
figure you were going to try to get that in.
I got to, right? I got to get that every single time. He's a super deep sleeper there on tight end, guys, if you want him. But big country, right? Dude's a big guy. He's a really big dude. Look it up. But anyway, I like Russell Wilson better just because I think that you get the upside of his running capabilities, and he's top guy every year. Watson, I think that the concern is going to be a regression because he lost DeAndre Hopkins. And so for me, I want what I feel a little bit more comfortable with at that spot. And these guys are going later. So they're guys I would consider.
Right.
All right, 90 seconds on the clock, Justin. Where are you going to go with this one?
So, spoiler alert, I'm going to go with Russell Wilson on this one. And I'm going to start with the we agreed on one.
Well, we agreed on another one, too.
We did. But when it comes to Deshaun Watson, I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, how upsetting was it? Like, I'm sure he was just pissed off when he found out, oh, hey, your future Hall of Fame wide receiver, your best weapon on the offense, best player you're probably ever going to play with on offense is traded. Happy Friday or whatever day it was. It's one of those things where, okay, you brought in some other guys. You said Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb. Those are guys. I mean, Brandon Cooks has performed in this league, and same with Randall Cobb. But we're talking DeAndre Hopkins here. Yeah. And that can't be ignored. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. So I just can't see his numbers going up this year. They have to come down. And when it comes to Russell Wilson, it's another guy that has just a really nice floor. Mm-hmm. He didn't scramble as much last year as he has in previous years, but I think that's going to change this year. And he's going to bring back more of that rushing for you, get a little bit more rushing floor. And I see another uptick in production from Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. He's got 5 tight ends, basically. He's got 3 tight ends, but you get it. He's got Greg Olsen, who I think is the best tight end.
Will Dissly counts as 2 guys.
The big country does.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to want to pass it just a little bit more, just because I know
the running backs are a little banged up.
They're a little banged up, and that's why I'm going with Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson for the win.
For the wins.
I want you to be on my team.
Let us know what you think on that one. That was another tough one, man. We both went with Russell Wilson, so let us know if we got anybody out there that would go with Deshaun Watson. Let us know.
Yeah, and give us a reason why. Don't just tell us that we're idiots. We already know. Yeah. We already know that.
You can start off with that.
Yeah,
you can start off with that. Absolutely. Yeah. Just give us a little bit of reason.
Yeah, and other than you, Jared, don't.
Yeah, you don't count.
Yeah, he texts that to us all the time anyway.
Oh yeah, happy belated birthday, bro.
Yeah. All right. So we have our final one, number 5 here. This is the big matchup, the final countdown. Yeah. Here we go. It's Patty Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. Who you got? 90 seconds on the clock. Give it to me.
All right. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to take just yet, but I'm going to start with Patrick Mahomes. We've already talked about Travis Kelce on this episode. This is just the best offense in the league. That's what I think. I think the Ravens probably finish as the number 1 offense just because they're rushing. I think they rush for 3,000 yards. I mean, that's going to happen then if you rush that many times or have that many yards. You're probably going to finish number 1. But Patrick Mahomes also dislocated his kneecap. I'm not going to say knee issue like I did on one of the episodes, and you looked at me like episodes. I was an idiot. I like how you call it an issue.
Yeah. It was pretty gruesome.
It was. Tyreek Hill's back. Sammy Watkins is back. They also have Mecole Hardman. They have Demarcus Robinson. They drafted Eclair.
Does Mecole Hardman have an animal nickname yet? Because
he will
Tyreek
soon.
Hill's the cheetah, and Sammy Watkins is the lizard, right? Because he thinks he's a lizard man. Okay, soon. Okay.
Lamar Jackson it's going to be hard to really count on all of that rushing. He's still going to rush the heck out of the ball. Mm-hmm. It's just might be a little harder to trust all of that rushing that he had last year because he's come out and said it. The Ravens come out and said it. They're going to want him to throw a little bit more just to make sure he doesn't get injured. And I just don't like their weapons. They don't have that many weapons when it comes to the wide receiver group. Okay, they have Hollywood Brown. He's slight. And then they have Willie Snead. That's why I got to go Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
My time's up.
All right. Willie Snead graduated from my alma mater.
Ball State. Come on down.
Ball State. He's been
Cardinals.
He's been in the league for a while, man.
Started with the Saints.
Yeah. All right.
I wish he was in a better situation. I wish
he's never really had a great situation. That's always kind of been the problem. He flashes. He flashes here and there. He's a Mac guy. Wide receivers, the Mac wide receivers tend to be a little bit here and there, that sort of thing. But the QBs for a little while were really, really good.
There was one that's still carrying the
Mac. Still.
All right, 90 seconds.
If you know who that is, throw a comment down there, and we'll give you a shout out.
If your name's on there, we'll give you a shout out. There we go.
All right. 90 seconds on the clock and go. All right. This is a tough one for me, actually. Like I was really early a fan of Mahomes. Like Justin can attest in our league together. We have keepers and I had him. I kept him based on the one start that he had in his rookie season. But Lamar Jackson, when he was drafted, I remember saying to somebody, hey, if he gets a little bit more accurate, this dude's going to be scary. Like he was that solid. And then they were saying he's getting more and more accurate. And as time goes on, and then he fell in our draft, and I was like, what the heck is going on? I remember talking to you.
Neither of us needed a QB.
Yeah, neither of us needed a QB. And I was like, I might take him. I might break my rule and take him. And you were like, I don't know if you don't, I'm going to. And then he straight up went off the board. I was like, darn it. That would have been a great one. But for me, what it boils down to is that I think that offense in Kansas City is just, it's undeniable. Like you cannot, it is built around this guy. It's built around his skill set. He's phenomenal. And the only thing that derailed it last year for him was literally having his kneecap dislocated. And he still only missed a couple games. Like
knee issue.
Yeah, it's his knee issue. I don't, it's not like I don't believe in Lamar Jackson. Look, I'm not spending on either of these guys in any draft I'm in because I don't believe in drafting a quarterback in the second round unless it's a 2 QB league or it's like a QB premium or something like that, a super flex, right? So that's who I'm going with is Mahomes. All right. That's it for.
Yeah, that's going to be one that's going to be a tough one. Let us know what you guys think. I mean,
I have
seen it in a lot of mock drafts that they've been kind of flipping back and forth. So
yeah,
definitely let us know if you were to take one of these QBs. And once, like he said, I wouldn't really do that just because of what you would have to give up to choose one of these guys. But
it's got to be a specific situation. It really does. Yeah. And it has to be specific to your league's settings and scoring settings and everything like that, because otherwise you're spending too much draft capital to take a guy in the second round who you could get somebody who's only going to score like 4 or 5 points less per game on average 10 rounds later. Like it just doesn't make sense to do that. So
all right, let's do a recap.
All right, you took Mahomes on that one, right?
I did.
All right, so you went with Kelce and I went with Kittle. Surprise, surprise, surprise. That is a big surprise.
And then we both feel right about that.
Yeah,
I just don't feel right.
Like, yeah, you know what? I will text him tonight and let him know that you still love him. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
XOXO.
Yeah, XOXO. And we both picked Evan Engram over Henry.
Yep.
You took Kyler Murray over Dak. I took Dak.
Yep.
And you know that could go either way. We both took Russell Wilson over Deshaun Watson, and then we both took Pat Mahomes over Lamar Jackson. So that's what we've done. If you guys are interested in catching any of the other videos that we've put together for the fantasy draft or past series, go ahead and click on any of the videos that are popping up on your screen right now. You'll be able to see them and watch through each of those and hear us make stupid, terrible jokes.
Yep.
But you know what? Once again, don't forget to subscribe. Click the bell so you get notified when we upload the best fantasy football information or podcast on the internet.
Thanks for being
and stupid dad jokes. Thanks for being a fan of the Upside, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye.